So hello everybody. I had a dream, and in my dream, there was these two aircrafts, like what is it? Yeah, like aircrafts, like what NASA has. And so the first aircraft was, I guess they were both on an expedition, and the one aircraft, the first one, they decided to um, help another astronaut, but they were none of them were like in astronaut clothing or anything like that. So then they had to collect some type of data. So they were headed back to Earth, but then they started kind of like waiting, so they delayed a little bit because the aircraft too had to follow behind them. And so I saw that they were circling around the planet, and this dream was so vivid because it was like as if I was in outer space. That's how vivid it was. And so the craft number one was headed to Earth, and then all of a sudden the dream changed and it was a funeral. Craft aircraft number two, all the people who were on aircraft number two were sitting at the funeral because aircraft number one never made it back to Earth. And I could hear like um what is it? It's the recording of when a person dies. You know, like when the aircraft, when it when there's an accident and they have like this box or whatever. So anyway, they were listening to the recordings of the woman. I guess she was head over this aircraft with the people, that the rest of the astronauts who were in this aircraft, and she was talking. And as she was talking, she was explaining how what she was going through. And so I thought that she was being burned up by the sun. So anyway, I woke up and God started showing me that it was a black hole that was engulfing her. And so and I guess it felt like it was like painful, like a black hole, and there was nothing they could do to get out of it. So I said, okay, Lord, well, what does this mean? So God said, wormwood. And I said, okay, Lord, wormwood, but what does that mean? I don't understand. Wormwood is in Revelations. What does this mean? So God said to me, He said, um, what he did was he showed me what I had gone through about 12 years ago. And I went through some great suffering for about 2 years. And at that time, I felt like I could not come out of it. I felt like um, God had um, let me go through something and he was powerful enough to bring me out of it. And I didn't understand why he didn't bring me out of it. And anyway, but God had allowed me to get stronger. I had got prayer. My sister, I would call her in the middle of the night because I was heavily attacked by demons and witches, and I was attacked through the supernatural, and it was painful, and it was great suffering. And that didn't mean that I never went through the supernatural after that, because I still continue to go through the supernatural of being attacked. But this type of attack was really devastating. And at that time, I got sick as well. But I just went through a lot of demonic attack. So God was telling me that's wormwood. Wormwood is when you are being attacked and you feel like you cannot get out of it. That's wormwood. It's God, how God showed it to me. It's like just like how a black hole sucks you in. And even when light goes through a black hole, the light is trapped in there as well. So just like it sucks you in, that's what it's like to be in the grip of wormhood. It is a spirit. It's an evil, dark, negative force, and you're going to be like you're in prison because you're going to be suffering. And when I was suffering on every side. And I believe that's why a lot of people are committing suicide. A lot of people are dying um because of this spirit. And I'm going to go into um, what Wikipedia says about wormwood. But I know that wormwood is when or excuse me, a black hole is when a star dies. Hold on, but it's not a a natural star. It is a spirit. Okay. Now the reason why spirits are identified as stars, because whether it's good or whether it's bad, stars guide you when you're, just like how, you know uh um what is it, through like astrology or whatever, not like the witchcraft, but like the study of the stars, that part. um The stars can actually guide you, like if you're lost. That's what the slaves use. They use stars to guide you. So you can have demons that will guide you, or you can have God or people to guide you. So that's why stars are identified as spiritually as either spirits or humans or angels. Okay. So let me take you to Wikipedia. So a black hole is a region of space-time where gravity is so strong that nothing, no particulars or even electromagnetic radiation such as light can escape from it. The theory of general relativity predicts that a sufficiently compact mass can deform space-time to form a black hole. So, and then it tells you also about how a black hole is formed. So I want to share that with you as well. So a black hole can be formed by the death of a massive star. Okay, and so we can see that. And I'm going to go into the scriptures because I want you guys to see this. And when it talks about this black hole, I believe it's in Proverbs 5:4. Well, when it talks about wormwood, which is a black hole, yes, Proverbs 5:4. But her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. It's talking about the lips of a strange woman. Because a lot of people do suffer because their own faults and stuff like that. And the reason why the wormwood is so strong in the world today is because of sin. And this suffering is just not going to hit those who are in sin. It's going to hit those who are righteous, because when suffering comes, it really shows you what's inside of you. It shows you if you're really following God, like Jesus, you're taking up that cross and following him, or if you're just going to fall away. And many people are not going to be able to endure, they're going to fall away. But you can come out of that come out of the grip of wormwood. But wormwood is spelled L A apostrophe ANAH, and that is Hebrew, and it means to curse. So when you're under that heavy demonic attack, you're going to feel like you're cursed because you can't come out of it. Everything you do is you're just going to feel burdened. But that's the time for you to learn. That's the time for you to become stronger. When I went through that, I experienced seeing angels. I experienced like a whole powerful like my relationship with God just grew closer. And it was so painful that when I went through it, but having God's voice with me helped me out a lot. But it was very painful, and sometimes I was like, God, you're strong. Why aren't you helping me through this? But God was allowing me to go through that for several different reasons. For one, it was making me stronger, and it was causing me not to be afraid of demons. And I remember what Will Smith's son said in what's that movie called, Karate Kid, and he said the reason why he wanted to go back out there and fight is because he was still afraid. And I was always afraid of demons because my mom was always supernaturally attacked with demons. So they would like lift the sheets up when she was a kid. They would walk around the house. They would walk up and down the steps. They would turn the water on. They did a lot of stuff to her. So she would tell us the story. So I always had a fear. So now that I'm born again, I was like, God wanted to free me from that. So the only way to free me was allowing me to know how powerful he was and how powerful I was in him. Didn't mean that I didn't go through um continue to go through demonic attacks, but I was so much stronger where I didn't have the fear. Okay, so and let's go into Revelations. So let's go into Revelations so we can see Wormwood. Revelations 8:11. It says, "And the name of the star is called Wormwood." Did you hear that? The name of the star is called Wormwood, and the third part of the waters became wormwood, and many men died of the waters because they were made bitter. And when you go through suffering, let me tell you something. You got to be careful, because bitterness will come. Either the suffering is going to make you better or it's going to make you bitter. And sometimes when it makes people bitter, they decide to kill themselves. But if you kill yourself, you're not going to see the person that you're supposed to turn out to be. You're going to be a type of person that's going to change a lot of stuff in your family. Through my life, I'm able to change so much stuff because I endured that suffering like Christ, and I decided to stand on his word and never quit. I'm telling you guys, do not give up. Do not quit. Do not allow that prison that you might be in your mind, that prison that you might be in your health, that prison that you're in, you know what I mean? Through any area of your life, I'm telling you, God is right there with you. He's with you in darkness. And if you're going through that, yes, he's allowing it, but he wants you to know that this is a season for you to trust him and that he's going to use you mightily. And God just can't, you know, just be with his own people who are born again and then leave the world, to suffer alone. No, we suffer as a whole because we all are human and we all need to help one another out, whether we're born again or whether we're not. So he allows us as born again believers to suffer because we have to help the world. Jesus suffered so that he could die so that we would no longer be in sin. So don't think that you're exempt because you're born again from this black hole. So I think I touched on everything I needed to touch on, and thank you for watching.